Hey folks, how's it going? It's just me, simple video today, chatting about the GGZII tuning. I just basically go off the views of the channel when I'm wondering what video to make, and it seems like most of you seem to enjoy these just face-to-face chats, even more so than just gameplay. So today there's no gameplay, it's just talking about the balance for a quick 10 minutes. I don't want to waste a ton of your time. So a lot of people, I say a lot, a small amount of people asked me to take a look at the Gears tuning when it was in the beta playlist, and I never played it. I never played it because, again, for the reasons we spoke about in a few videos ago, if you don't remember, basically there's not many people play the beta playlist. There's laggy connections, and I generally wasn't enjoying the game, and I didn't want to sit and be another beta tester basically for a retail game for free, and then have feedback ignored. I'll just be honest with you, that's the way it felt. So I didn't play it, and I took a hiatus from Gears, about a month. Then I came back, the tuning was in the full game, and we've done a sort of review of it, but now I've had a much longer time to play with it. I've been playing for it for about 2 weeks, and I've been learning how to use the controller, and I've been learning a new control scheme alongside it as a sort of little side project. Just to note, when I'm doing these face-to-face videos, I feel like I connect with my audience, and I enjoy doing them. If you want to connect with me further, in the description are links to like my Twitter, my profiles. I have a community Discord, and I have my live stream. What I try to do is I try to basically kick out and ban any sort of over-the-top trolls, any nasty people, and I'm not trying to create a safe space, but I'm just trying to create a nice environment. So if you come into my stream, you can feel like, hey, I just want to vibe, I just want to chill out, or I want to chat in the Discord about some Gears or about some other games. You can do that, and I wanted to get that out there because I have like join membership buttons and I have subscribe buttons, but the main aspect of all of this is the community, and that's why I enjoyed doing this. Previously I've streamed and I've made videos for other communities and other topics, right? But I've never quote tried to build like a community, and I don't know if I've done that or not, or I'm doing that, who knows. But I'm trying my best, and I'm trying to make a nice environment. I've had people message me previously that are like, there's some people in the community that I don't really like or enjoy. We've dealt with those issues in the past. We haven't really had any issues pop up. But again, do let me know via Discord, via Twitter, if you have any problems with the community that I think I can fix. I will try my best to, because it's about having fun. And it's about enjoying it. Like when I sign into my stream now, I might only have, let's say, 5 or 10 people watching, but those 5 or 10 people enjoy watching me play any game, and they enjoy my content, and that's massive. And I look forward to streaming because I know the community is nice, and I want to thank you all for participating in that. And if you want to get involved, there's some ways to do so. So on to the tuning. Effectively what they've done is they've quote slowed the game down, and everybody told me, hey, you know, you're gonna hate it, it's so slow. There was a lot of upset people on Twitter. In the latest dev stream that I watched, there's a lot of upset people in the comments saying, you know, basically all the comments were just revert the tuning. I've now had the experience to play on PC and controller for 2 weeks, and I'm here to say that it's been some of the most enjoyable Gears I've played. You know, I'm not one to beat around the bush, you know me, I just say it how it is. I try to be honest with the devs. If I think they've done something really bad, like I still think their way they treat exclusivity in the game is wrong. I don't think they quite grasp it. There are certain issues like lag, blah 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 blah, right? I call it out if I see it, and I try to do it in a fair way. This week I've really enjoyed Gears these past 2 weeks. It could be that I took a break and I came back and I'm a bit more refreshed. That could be it, right? You know, that's entirely possible. But I don't think it is. I think what it is the tuning. I'll be honest. Is it life-changing? No. If you're a super sort of into Gears, you'll notice it. But if you're not really super into Gears, you might not notice it. You'll be like, I can't even tell there's any changes. For me, the big change is I don't get blind up aid off every single wall. It still happens, But if somebody wants to up A you, it's like you've shot your shotgun bullet and they know they can close the gap and shoot you by the time you've got another bullet to shoot, and that's absolutely fine. The rifles seem a little bit weaker. You're still going to get beamed down if multiple rifles are on you, or you're in a shotgun fight and you're getting lanced. That's fine. Using it on a controller, if somebody's running straight at me, sort of running straight in a side, I can sort of get them down. If they're moving about all over the shop, they quite often escape, which I feel is about right. If you're doing a lot of movement, you probably should be able to escape. Generally, it's been a very enjoyable experience. It's not been mind-blowing, like I say. There's just a small tweaks that have all added up, you know, and it's been very pleasant. So the up A has been, I would say, almost resolved. The gib range is still big, but it sort of works because the way everything is right now, if you were to lower the trunk range, right, if you were to lower the distance it takes to blow someone up in one shot, you'd have to rebalance the entire game. Because if you lower that down, then all of a sudden, if you're running at a Lancer person that has 40 bullets in a drum, they're just going to kill you, and you can't get into chunk range to blow them up. So you have to have a slightly big chunk range. Also, all the covers are quite thick in Gears, and they're all positioned in a way that if the gib range wasn't as large as it is, you would, like, certain areas of the game just wouldn't work. And then, yeah, you'd start to have to rebalance the game, and like I say, you've got to look at it kind of like, is it worth it? I would say no. And you know me, I don't like the chunk range, but is it worth rebalancing the whole game for a chunk range? No, I would say this tuning is great. If you want to zoom about like a complete clown, you can do it. I've been learning the new control scheme. I've been zooming about. If I'm against competent, good players or a stack, yeah, I can't really zoom about, but I feel that's kind of a given. Zooming about, wall bouncing, shouldn't just be an auto win button. Like, you shouldn't just do it in any scenario and it wins. So yeah, if you're against really good competent players, you can't go off 65 walls and then do an up A. You will die. But that's going to happen on all tunings, you know. So let's speak some specifics. I like the fact that the lance is a little bit weaker. It feels just right. It feels strong enough that it doesn't feel useless, and it feels weak enough that it's not overbearing. Yes, stacks still abuse it, but that's just a nature of the game, isn't it? Stacks are going to break the way games function in all games, not just Gears. The chunk range I feel like is pretty fine right now due to the fact the game's been slowed. If somebody can't blind up A you and get a speed boost, you have more time to react, which in essence is what people are asking for. They're asking for more time to react. So if the game's a tiny bit slower and someone's not pinging off a wall with boosts, you have that extra, maybe it's just half a second, maybe it's a 20th of a second to react, and it makes all the difference. The weapons like Markser, Baltok, all of these things, I don't find myself getting irritated by them. They're useful, but they're not overpowering. Flashbangs seem alright, smokes seem alright, and honestly the game seems like, to me, in a good place. And it's surprising because everyone hates it so much, and somebody like me that's been really firm on balance quite enjoys it. So I'm wondering what you think at home, because obviously it's quite jarring for people. Some people hate it, some people like it. And I'll just be, like I say, just honest. I've really enjoyed these past couple of Gears weeks. And that's really all there is to it. I don't think I need to do a huge dismantling of every single piece of, this shotgun used to do this, now it does that. It's been a pleasant experience. The only thing that has sort of marred the experience has been connections. If someone's on like 110 ping, there's a little bit of difference. Like if I see him here, he might be here, right? There's a little bit of difference. So sometimes, like when I think I've landed a full spread, I might get like 8 pellets or something. When they reach 120 ping, 150 ping, 200 ping, like I had a game last night where everyone was on 200 ping. I actually couldn't hit them. Like they were there on my screen, and I was aiming at what I could see, but obviously the hitbox was in a different place on the server, and that's ultimately what matters. So every time I was bodying them and like they were running in a straight line and I was hard aiming them, I was getting like 2 pallets, and there was something just not right. And all I ask really, and I don't think it's too much to ask, is for a game in 2021, I don't want to play against 7 people that have 200 ping. It's not a big ask, you know. That's my main issue. We can even forget about the netcode. We can even forget about the gib range. But just make sure the players are like on relatively similar pings, and it's an alright experience. And it's not like saying, oh, you've changed, you've calmed down. Listen, if the tuning was awful and I signed in and I felt it was sluggish and I couldn't do the things I wanted to do, I'd be like, bro, this sucks. Like, title update 6 on Gears 2, I remember it years and years and years ago. It was awful. This, when I play it, I'm not feeling like, oh, this is awful. I'm enjoying it, and I've got to give props to the Coalition. Like I say, I'm fair. They've done a good job with the tuning. People might say, what? I've been doing mad bouncing. I've been doing roadie run strafes. I've been doing snipe clips. I've been doing lancering. I've been doing hard aim shotguns. And yes, the only slight annoyance is like if somebody's in the distance and they're stood still and I hard aim my reticule on them, the conal spreads out and I only land like 2 to 3 pellets even though I haven't missed. But the only alternative is then you start making it more and more like Gears 2, where you tighten in that spread so they don't miss, and then you get shotgun snipes across the map. And I don't really want to go down that route. So for me, this tuning is pretty damn spot on. Ideal, no. In an ideal world, no, it would be different. I would change some things, but in terms of like how much work it would take to change those small things, it's not worth it. I feel like right now the tuning, it allows zoomers to be zoomy, it allows boomers to be boomy, and if you want to do a bit of a middle playstyle, you can mess around with it. Yes, there are some issues with the ranking system. We all know that. There are some issues with the goddamn servers. There are some issues with just general, like, why am I a Masters player? Why do I have a silver guy on my team versus a gold guy who's in a 4-man stack? Like, it's, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on there. But if we're just talking about the tuning, I'll just be honest, I've really enjoyed the past 2 weeks of Gears. Coming up, and I'd like to know your opinions in the comments, I've been trying to do a road to Masters with the controller, and I've been recording some clips. Would you be interested in me, say, posting those clips in a montage, and then maybe talking over how I dealt with the transition from keyboard and mouse to controller? Or would you just prefer like some music and a little bit of a montage? Or would you prefer maybe just like a raw gameplay of me on a controller with me talking? I don't know. I've got lots of clips saved up. They're not fantastic. They're not, you know, world-beating clips, but, you know, they're clips that I enjoyed getting. I had fun. We're like, I've got up to like Diamond now, and I'm trying to get into Masters. I'll probably continue my playthrough this evening, or maybe after this video's gone live. And that's really it. I've enjoyed the past 2 weeks of Gears. I feel like the tuning's helped. It's a tiny bit slower. It's not over the top. You can still, I feel like, wall bounce and shoot. I don't really notice the delays. Everyone tells me about the delays, but I'll be honest, maybe those 0.1 delays are allowing me to roadie run strafe and not be back air cancelled and stuff. And you can still do them. You just need the time and the place to do them. And I've seen a lot of unnecessary crying over this tuning. And this is coming from somebody that, you know, I bang on about tuning and balance probably more than anyone on YouTube for Gears 5. Because I did feel like it was important. But right now, I feel, and I've said this again, I said it like probably like 2 months ago, the tuning's fine, leave it, let's make content. Like, if they're different, like, I know they're different teams, but if it was a decision of like, hey, should we rebalance the whole game again, or should we make 2 maps and test them fully? Like, obviously bring out the maps. You know, the new campaign was enjoyable, the new Horde boss was enjoyable, the way you can play Horde with any character skin and class you want is very nice. And I feel like if they could just sort out the connection issue, which again is a player base issue, like, I understand it if you have a small population with a weird ranking system where silvers can play golds and they can queue together and there's no like region restrictions, it's going to be a bit of a nightmare. interestingly to note, to end, Gears 5 is free on Xbox Live Gold, I think, this month, so you can pick it up, and free games, I believe, now don't quote me, I believe free games now don't need Xbox Live, so it's almost like a free-to-play, could be like a few weeks, so the player base might pick up there, and I think that's okay, because the game's in a fairly okay spot right now. Remember last time there was a big influx of players was like launch, and it was broken. So yeah, I want to know how you're doing with the tuning. Do let me know. I know my PC versus console video riled people up, but listen, I think people understood what I'm trying to say. PC has every advantage. If you're a god on PC and you've maximized all your potential, you're going to be better on a PC than you are if you've maximized all your potential on a controller. But the amount of people that have maximized their potential on a PC for Gears is almost non-existent, and the same for controller. It's not like you're landing every single shot. If you're missing shots, you can still improve. So I'm not trying to say PC's easy, and I'm not trying to say controllers easy. What I'm trying to say is it's not as clear cut as just, yo, pick up the keyboard and spray JME. You know, it's not as easy as people think. You don't just pick up the mouse, put it on someone's head and click. I've personally found the movement on the controller to be far superior. I'm doing things on a controller I can't do on a keyboard. Now, maybe you can technically do them on the keyboard, but I can't do them. I'm not good enough. So, you know, there's definitely pros and cons, and it comes down to what platform you prefer. And again, I'll admit, the ultimate experience is probably a PC with a controller, and then if you want to Lancer, you pick up your mouse and keyboard. I could play hybrid, but I don't want to be a dick and completely abuse that, because I could, Lancer and snipe, and then once I've done, drop it and pick up the controller. I'm not saying there's not advantages, and probably, if I'm being frank with you, if I had a console, I would probably most likely turn off crossplay, because why not? If there's enough players for me on Xbox, why would I even bother facing PC if I don't need to? But all I'm saying is, it's really not as bad as you think. It's not like there are a bunch of like PC gods that will destroy you, there are a few, but they're few and far between, and they'd probably be doing the same on console. So that's going to be the video series, a few videos based on my road to Masters. I hope you have enjoyed it, or will enjoy it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Have a great day, and as always, join the community, man. I'm always looking for more people. I have a small Twitch stream, I have a smallish YouTube channel, and it's a good place to get involved in right now, because it's quiet and it's small. We can have conversations and it's not flooded, and yeah, we can grow the community. Oh, also, there's probably a video on screen right now. If you want to click it, it'll take you to another video that I've created. And I appreciate all the guys liking and commenting. And if you could hit that join button, it would mean the world to me, because it means I can eat food. Thank you very much.